You rode that pink bike, that weird bike. The what is it called?
I did. Let's actually talk about that, Win.
Yeah.
And I think it's really. I wanna have let's have a discussion about that. So for me, that was. I think I've been really lucky to test this fucking shopping cart.
Shopping cart.
Because it was a shopping cart. Like, sorry, Mike Levy and Brian Park, but it's this bike. Like, it doesn't work. Like, it was not made. You know, like you can't sell. But in terms of geometry, like jumping on this bike for the first time and doing a lap full gas felt good. You know, like it felt good. Like the bike was really fast. So for me, there was 3 different things that made this bike fast. And right now, I still don't know what it was. The first one, the reach was pretty long.
Yeah.
It was a 510 millimeter reach, so or 520 even. So that was super long. The head angle was 50, massive. 57 degrees. It's
57.
It's a dragster.
57.
57 degrees.
57.
57.
Really?
57. Yeah. 57 degrees, 510 or 520 millimeter reach, and the wheelbase. The wheelbase was, of course, monstrous, and the chainstay was, I think, 46 or even 47 millimeter long.
Yeah.
47 centimeter long. So it was super long chainstay. Okay. Right now, so when I did some testing with the GG has some pretty long chainstay as well. They are 45 centimeter long, so they are pretty long for what. Like, for example, the commensal is 43.3, so it's quite longer. The end angle is totally normal, it's like 63 something. So I asked GG to actually try a size 4, which is an extra large, to have a longer reach and to see how that would feel. And that bike, the GG in size extra large, is 49 or 500, which is pretty long, but it's a normal end angle. So I asked them to do some
reach
some head cup, to slack the angle a little bit, and I want to try that a little bit.
But
what do you think?
Do you not find, like, if you have a very slack head angle, that your fork doesn't work very well?
Well, you know, at speed there was no issue at all. In my head, they contacted me, Mike Levy, and they were like, "Do you want to do the testing for this bike?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." But in my head, I was visioning this thing that will not corner at all. Like, I will not be able to ride this bike at all. The suspension will not work at all. And it was actually, everything was working well. And the bike was feeling actually super smooth, which is kind of funny.
But that could also be because of the stability of the length of the bike.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But my point is, this bike was way faster than my old bike on a 2-minute track. Like, way faster.
Fuck off.
It was second faster in.
How much?
7 seconds.
7 seconds on 2 minutes. Oh.
On the 2 minute, it's my test track.
Yeah.
It's a track that I know. And yeah, so for me when I did that at the end, I couldn't believe it. I was like, fucking hell! Like, I dropped my chain in the run.
Yeah.
Like, my chain.
I saw the video because I was like, oh, see what happens here.
It was insane. Yeah. So at the end, I was like, wow, wait a second. Why when we're racing, like, when I see that, why, for example, on a race like Chile, where it's like open the gas, 60 km an hour all the time and stuff like that, why would we ride, if we're racing, why, for example, would GT not make you a special bike for Chile so you can win by a minute? Like, why do you have to ride the bike that everybody rides?
I guess a race bike should be different from a production bike, but then also it seems like all the consumer wants to ride the bike the pro has,
Yeah, but at the same time, like, would I ride the Grim Donut every day? Absolutely not.
No, yeah,
Absolutely not. Like, it wouldn't feel good.
yeah.
Like, for example, right now I have two sizes. I'm trying a size large and a size extra large. Would I ride the size extra large every day? Well, I actually feel pretty good on it. So actually, right now, that's the bike that I ride.
Yeah, but now you contradict yourself. but yeah, sometimes a large bike is cool just for jumps or whatever, or for playing around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It feels super stable in the air.
Yeah. And I mean, like a little bit smaller than your normal size can be fun just for playing around. Like
Totally.
but not for racing.
Yeah.
But it seems in
But
enduro that everyone
like
rides
extra.
smaller than bigger.
Yeah, I know, but like
Yeah.
that's like, is it because the bike industry is lazy and doesn't want to put, a little bit of investment to do some proper testing? Or is it because it simply doesn't work? Does anyone in the bike industry right now in a team has tried something that's completely outside of the box?
I'm not
Have we
sure.
tried that?
I'm not
Have
sure because
Have someone actually looked at the Green Donut and be like, holy fuck, this bike is 7 faster than every other bikes.
yeah.
Should we try to actually make a race bike like that and just try it?
Yeah.
Does someone did that? No.
Well, maybe in the old days, Fabian used to run. Barel.
Well,
He's probably tried, and him and Nico are probably the only people that would have tried everything.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, look at Fabian, for example. When he got world champ in 2004 and 2005, that's when he was doing a crazy load of testing, and like, I remember they were going to pay in my backyard in France, and I remember him and his mechanic, they were like sewing frames on the parking lot at the bottom of the track,
Yeah.
and then welding them back
On the
together some over angle. They were completely crazy.
Yeah.
But the result is that he had a Kona, what was that? The Stab?
Yeah. Stab Deluxe or something. Yeah.
Stab Deluxe,
Yeah.
which is the Stab Deluxe at the time, the bike that everybody would buy it was not a race bike at all.
No.
But they made this bike and they completely transformed it, and they made a bike for Fabian to win the world champs. So
Yeah.
they actually probably were, I don't know, maybe the last ones to do this kind of stuff. Maybe Loic Bruni does this
I
kind of
think
testing.
Loic probably is the current one doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe Amaury a bit. Because
Maybe
it's,
Amaury.
yeah, it seems like they're testing quite a lot and they always developing the bike. But not
Totally.
not
But look
so
at
many
Loic.
people.
Loic is.
Yeah.
Loic is who is Loic Bruni? Like, how many world champ title does he have, and how many World Cups win does he have?
Yeah,
These days,
a few.
a lot.
Yeah. A few.
And what about Amaury Pierron? Oh, it's kind of similar. Okay,
Yeah.
so
But-
there's something. Fucking hell.
But then you need a budget to do that. I think it's quite unless you're working like you are with a small brand, it's quite expensive to do that.
You just give me I go to Canadian Tire, I buy a saw, I'm gonna chop off my frame.
I don't think that's the old days though. That's not very safe.
Right. Buy some glue.
Yeah. Well, you
Put it back together.
if it's
Oh,
carbon, you
details.
can glue it.
You can glue it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I think I've seen some carbon frames repaired with fishing rod repair kit before. Yeah. I
We've
once.
seen some.
Do you remember the Laha bike, the New Zealand bike? Laha.
Which one?
It's like, it was a gearbox bike that Cam Cole wins the Junior World Championship 2006.
What was the brand?
Laha.
Laha?
Yeah, like the lava that comes down the mountain is called a Laha.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was the name of the bike. Like, when the volcano explodes, a Laha comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I will Google this thing. I remember Zero. Zero is a New
yeah.
Zealand.
So Zero is pretty much an updated Laha, and Laha was a carbon version of the Zero. Like before, Zero pretty much copied the design of the Laha.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
it had the gearbox and everything like this. And I rode one of these bikes in 2002 and 2003 when I was like really young. So I was in their team. And I remember one race we the swing arm would like flex.
Yeah.
It had flex for making like extra suspension. Like, it was a good design, but it delaminated the swing arm. So like a piece went flying off it. And then for the race I got the piece that came off and put it back on and then taped it on and then did the race like this.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But that's going back to the old times.
Yeah. Well, for example, look at Honda.
Yeah.
Honda when they showed up with Minar and Matti Leikonen.
Yeah.
Like their bike was completely
Different.
It was different.
Yeah.
It's completely different, and they were kind of dominating at the time.
Yeah, it was a little bit small though, that bike. I think it was small on Greg.
It was small for what we have now.
Yeah.
But the bike was working pretty well.
I think so, but
You know, like
I don't know. Yeah, like we still have a derailleur on our bikes, which is kind of crazy.
yeah.
It doesn't make too much sense.
I'm gonna test a few things because I can.
Yeah.
GG is up for some fun things, so I'm gonna test a few stuff. I will keep you posted.
All right, I'm interested to see what you try.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna make the perfect bike for Crankworx Whistler.
What's the perfect bike for Crankworx Whistler though?
Well, I'm gonna make it.
But
It will be the perfect geometry for the terrain that we have in Whistler.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna show up to Whistler Crankworx, my first EWS in 2 years, and I'm gonna win.
Here we go. You've set the goals low. But you know, you're better to aim for the moon, and at least you'll land at the stars, eh? Yeah.
That's a good expression. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely interesting to explore what.
Totally.
Yeah, and I think there's still a lot of room for bike companies and for riders to explore more options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think so. Especially when we're racing, like when a brand invests on a factory team, then might as well doing it properly, and you really make a bike for that goes fast.
Yeah. But
Instead of just
it can be hard to convince them to make a bike that's not for production or for sale.
Yeah, but I think that's a mistake. Like
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah, I agree, but
in WRC,
Yeah.
WRC rally car racing,
it's not the same.
you don't see a Renault Twingo at the start of a race. Like, I never seen that before. You know what I mean?
No, you don't. But yeah, what's the van? The Kangoo. You would have the Kangoo, eh?
They race with
The Kangoo at the WRC.
one of my buddies. I know.
There was a video on
I think that Bruni had a Kangoo when he had his first when he passed his driver license first. I think he had a Kangoo.
Kangoo. I like a good Kangoo, eh?
Yeah, Kangoo is perfect.
Yeah. Bikes in the back.
We don't have these kind of cars in Canada. It sucks.
No, your cars in Canada are shit, eh? They're all big.
Oh yeah, it's either like you have like a big monster, like a truck, and then it sucks. Like you don't have, like it kind of sucks. Like
You don't need a
give me
big
like
car.
And no, you don't
Yeah.
need a big car. Like a little van, 4-wheel drive, and it's perfect. You go everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's
Even
none of that.
because I see that you pick up the rubbish all the time, and that
I do.
you've
That's my
adapted
passion.
this.
That's my side.
Yeah.
That's my side hobby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But and I like that. But when the rubbish goes to the like the rubbish dump there's often not much recycling. Like,
No,
it's so bad.
like so. It was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we did a beach cleanup in Tofino.
Yeah.
With with like some big association that they actually do that all the time. They organize beach cleanup and they go like kind of remote places. There's like a lot of little islands like around Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
Little tiny islands. And we took a boat, went over there. We were like a small crew, and we got to a beach. And dude, it was a nightmare. It was insane. We found it was completely crazy. And so I sat down with the captain who organized these things, and Captain Josh. We sat down and we talked about. I asked him a bunch of questions about actually recycling. Where does all this shit that we pick up? Where does it go after?
Yeah.
Like, well, some of the big stuff like styrofoam and shit like that we find, this is being recycled. It's going to be burned and stuff, but the rest actually goes to the dump. So it goes to the dump, landfill. And I asked him a question, and I was like, what would be the percentage of things that we recycle, so stuff that you put in the bins for recycling, what's the percentage of that you are doing the effort to recycle?
Yeah.
What's this percentage that's actually being recycled?
Yeah, it's not
and
much.
He said that it's less than 5%.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's less than 5% because what's happening right now is that the industry, to create, for example, like a yogurt pot, like a plastic yogurt thing, like it costs way less to the industry to make
a new
it
one
from scratch
than
recycling.
Yeah.
Taking the material, recycling material. So it's pretty sad. So it's like we do all these things and we do all these efforts, but on the flip side of that, the infrastructures are not there yet to actually do the job after that.
Yeah, and that's
everything ends up in landfill.
That's you in Canada, which is like a first world country.
This is a first world country.
Yeah. And then how about in like Indonesia or Thailand or third world country?
Well, like
Africa.
You go, for example, even Mexico. Like last year, I was in Mexico and I did a garbage pickup in Mexico on the beach, and we had all this garbage and stuff. Put it in my truck, went to the dump, and then the guy at the dump looked at us and was like, "Wow, what do you want me to do with that?" And I was like, "Well." We cleaned the beach, and he was like, "Well, I'm full. Like I just can't take it."
Yeah. This is a massive problem. Like I don't know how we can make it better though.
But I think it's gonna have to come to governments to actually ban some material. Yeah. They have to ban it.
Single-use plastic should be banned.
Single-use plastic has to be banned.
Yeah.
And they have to actually encourage brands and industry to actually recycle.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like reducing the taxes, or because it all comes down to money. It's just when
in Germany you have a system with the bottles, you get the money back, but it only means that they take the bottles. I don't know if it's like still perfect recycling, but at least the plastic bottles do go back to the supermarket.
Yes. Yeah.
But
that might be that. Yeah, that's a solution. The whole thing is that the industry completely changes everything. So you go to stores and you have like massive bins, for example, of almonds or like nuts or whatever.
Yeah. You don't want
or like
everything in plastic.
And you have your jar.
Yeah.
And you have no more packaging, which is amazing. Like I think we need to reduce all the packaging. And it's the same when I work with brands and then you receive a box and you have in this box you have a shit ton of plastics and you're like, holy fuck. Whoa.
And to build a bike, you have so much plastic and cardboard like cardboard not as bad, but still you have so much packaging.
There's a lot of plastic, a lot of styrofoam. Styrofoam is shit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of actually sometimes plastic into the cardboard.
Yeah.
So as a consumer, you're like, well, what do I do with this shit? So it goes into the garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage, dump, landfill, done.
Yeah.
So bike industry, we need to do some effort on that. And I think it's us also, the pro riders, to be really conscious on this kind of stuff and just to address it and be like, hey guys, can we change that instead of having like a bike box that show up with all this plastic and like mismatch of shit? Can we just have cardboard in that? Have cardboard and it works. I don't think it protects the bikes less than plastic.
Yeah.
And it's way better for the environment. And I think in cost wise for the brand, it might be actually even cheaper.
Yeah, or it's similar at least anyway.
Yeah.
But another one would be tires as well though. Tires are pretty bad for the environment.
Well, tires as well. So last year I did a bunch of research on that, contacted the Chinson, like, okay guys, what do we do? And well, nobody can recycle tires.
Yeah. Crazy.
Nobody. Like the automotive industry, like motorbike, cars, all the tires, they are either being burnt into like cement factory and stuff like that to create combustion, or they get shredded and they go into the roads.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
It's pretty fucking hell. We're in 2021.
Yeah, and it's crazy how much waste like one person creates. If you shop normally and live for a week, you have a lot of waste. Like
you have a lot of waste.
A full bag per person almost, I would say.
Well, or more.
Yeah, probably more for the average. But
if you have a family and stuff, like it's more.
Then it's 2 or 3 bags.
Yeah.
Per week.
Yeah.
Well,
it's pretty cool. But anyways, so I'm gonna keep picking up garbage.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, people keep throwing it as well. So.
Well, and that's also another thing. Like for example, this was kind of crazy. So 2 years ago when we started that, we were kind of like, like with groups of people, we're kind of like, fucking hell, it's the tourists, and they don't respect anything, and they throw stuff out of their window and stuff like that, and they don't care. But then last year there was no tourists. It was just Canadians. It was just like people within Whistler, Squamish, Pemberton, Vancouver that were coming to Whistler. There was nobody else. And the roads were actually even more dirty. So it was kind of like, fucking hell, like we don't learn anything, eh? It's just going back to some spots where, we cleaned everything. We were coming back like 6 months after on the same spot, and it was just like covered of shit and stuff. So it's really, sometimes it's really depressing a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like seeing that there is people doing that, it's kind of encouraging. But at the same time, right now, instead of just doing that and not saying anything, right now we're gonna address ourselves to the politics. The mayor of Whistler and Squamish and stuff like that, the district of like Sea to Sky, blah blah blah, and we're gonna go to them. We're gonna say, guys, it's been 2 years that we're doing that. There's no change. We don't see more garbage bins on the side of the road or whatever, and it's still a shit show. Do something about it.
Yeah.
Because we have wildlife and everything here, and it's the wildlife that's suffering from that.
Yeah, for sure. But then the problem is where the rubbish goes afterwards is still it's bad.
But at least it's contained. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But
it's contained in one place, but of course it's still bad.
It's a hard one because like when it all goes in the ground, that's like. Eventually, we're going to be eating rubbish,
But we have, that we have plastic in our blood right now.
Yeah. Well, especially from the ocean too, from like if you eat fish. Yeah,
if you eat fish or whatever, even veggies.
Yeah,
because it's and you eat veggies, they go into the ground, they grow. You have plastic in your blood right now as we speak.
Which is scary.
Which is good.
It's pretty scary.
Hey, this is amazing.
I don't know about that, but
But it was not really a surprise when we heard that some people got caught.
Yeah, and it was kind of some races when you're at the start and there's people having whatever pill or whatever. Like, I mean, if you eat a healthy diet now, you can live pretty healthy without having to have so many supplements.
I think so too. I think that we've seen that. You've probably seen that too at the start of races. Like some people, having like little bag of like pills and stuff, and you don't really know what it is. You kind of look at that and you're like, okay,
you're like,
what's that?
Yeah.
I'm the same as you. Like I don't really. Like for me, if I go back to racing and to win, I need to do this kind of stuff. I need to carry like a pharmacy with me. Then no, like there's no point.
Yeah, I think actually, even in this sport, the money is too small to even say that you could do that.
Like why would we do that? Fucking
yeah.
Like like if you start to make millions, but who in the mountain bike world right now is making $1 million?
Not many, but maybe Matthew Van Der Poel, but he's more road, cyclocross and mountain bike. And then
he does everything.
Maybe Nino Schurter.
Do you think he's making $1 million right now?
Potentially, but last season was not so good. Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. But he's got Swiss banks and stuff sponsoring him, so. Yeah.
Like I think that there might be a few that are making close to $500,000.
Yeah. There's a few. Yeah.
A few.
Yeah.
But it's like maybe we count them on the fingers of two hands.
Yeah.
And then the rest, there might be quite a bit that are making around 100,000.
Yeah.
A year. Yeah. We are not talking about a month. We're talking about a year.
A week.
just to clarify.
Yeah. No, there would be. Yeah.
The rest for a lot of people, it's a bit struggle fest.
Yeah, like a lot of rides for nothing.
Yeah, a lot of riders ride for nothing, and I think that, for example, Kevin Michael, I think that last year he was making like 20K a year.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's not a lot.
You can't be off to the pharmacy every day with 20K.
You cannot go to the pharmacy every day making 20K a year.
You'd be lucky if you can go to the supermarket once a week with 20K a year.
But yeah, anyways, so I think it's great, and as you said, like the money that's involved is not important enough for mountain biking, enduro, downhill, or whatever to have like some proper doping.
Yeah.
I think it's small, like it's very amateur kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like, I'll try these pills, but I don't know what they do.
Like
probably some people actually decrease the performance.
Totally. Well, I remember in the early days of Enduro World Series, there was some like little stories about that, like some people taking some stuff and they got like massive diarrhea and they couldn't finish the race.
Oh, what? They took laxatives for the final stage. Yeah. But yeah.
They shat their pants.
Let's go.
Well, I have a funny story.
Alright. Hit me with
I think it was in 2000 and when was that? Wait a second. In 2010 or 2011, we were at the French Championship. So I was with the club US Kind, where Loic Brony everything, and we were with a bunch of buddies, and then we were in the same club as Rémi Métayer.
Yep.
And Rémi Rémi is always a little bit annoying, like he's always like kind of super picky with his stuff and everything, like a 5mm spacer like under his stem is gonna do like a big difference and stuff. And Rémi at the time was not really good at biking, like he was like he's not like he is today.
Yeah.
like he would be like top 50, like in a French Cup or something like that. So not good.
Yeah.
And anyways, we the day of the race, one of my buddy pulled him like there was these pills that are kind of Viagra, but not really. Like they have some Viagra in it. So he put some one of his pill in his orange juice in the morning.
Oh, what?
and then we. It was at the time. So what the fuck was that? There was the Maxi Avalanche, and the Maxi Avalanche were sponsored by this kind of. Was almost like porn thing. It was a weird thing.
So they bring some girls.
And so they were giving these like kind of pills that are kind of aphrodisiac a little bit or whatever it was. I don't remember, but it was very gentle. So anyways, he put one in Remy's thing. It was not even like you could buy it at the supermarket.
Yeah. It's not pharmaceutical. Yeah.
Anyways, put that in his orange juice. And then we got to the top of the race, and the race got shut down for a little bit because there was a crash.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like 50 riders at the top, and at some point we look at Remy, and he had a fucking boner. And he was pushing it down, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know what's happening."
Oh.
So if my buddy Richard Marini, you know Rich Marini?
Not sure.
He works at Formula now. Anyways, so we were just like pissing our pants, like laughing and stuff, and he did the best result of his career.
Oh, you helped him.
Instead of finishing 50th, he probably finished 47.
Oh.
But anyway, so that was a cool. I'm looking for a charger for my
computer
laptop because it's gonna die. I'm gonna. Oh yeah.
You found it. But
Anyways.
Yeah, I think it's in some ways that's a good thing in this sport, that it's still small enough that it doesn't have the power that money would bring. Like,
exactly,
it's a double-edged sword. Like, I think riders should earn more, to be fair, if you compare to other international sport. But
I think so. Like I think back maybe 10 years ago, when there wasn't this type of media, there wasn't Red Bull TV. There wasn't like all, even in Enduro, like we have a shit ton of media right now. It goes on Pingbag, there's lives, like it's getting big.
But sometimes too much media, because you have to. It's like now it's hard to choose what you actually watch.
Totally.
Yeah.
But so my point is that I think that the salaries actually kind of stay the same 10 years ago and now. It's still the same. When I think I'm on the same page as you, like someone that's racing and that's really committed to go race, and like it's a fucking commitment to be one of the top athletes.
Yeah.
You know,
well, you risk your life at the end of the day.
You risk your life. You risk injuries. The mental game is really important. Like it's really like it takes all your life.
Yeah, you're super selfish to be the best athlete. Like,
exactly.
You can't give time to others, or
you just do what you have to do, and it's all about training and resting and testing and all these things. And yes, I think that racers deserves more.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
You would say a racer should get more than an influencer or video guy or social media. Yeah.
The commitment is completely different.
Yeah.
Like there is no comparison. Like I think I've went a little bit through a bunch of different phases, and now I'm not really racing.
Yeah.
So my platform is like social media and working a little bit more like with brands and doing this kind of stuff. Like a little bit of YouTube, but I'm not a YouTuber. Like I post a YouTube video like once every 2 months sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I post like I'm gonna do a video like for 2 weeks. I'm gonna have a video every couple days. then I'm done. I'm not a you know I'm
Yeah,
not a
not
YouTuber.
consistent. Yeah.
No, and I don't want to be that. Like my videos are free. Like I'm not getting any money from the commercials or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Anyways, but my point is that since I haven't raced, well, I can allow myself to be a little bit more chubby, and I'm not consistent at the gym as well. Like sometimes I don't want to go. I'm not going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the commitment to race is yeah, it's a full time
everything. Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
And you need to accept also that sometimes you can be completely ready to race. You've done everything cool, and things are not going the way you were expecting them to go.
Yeah.
So it's like you need to question yourself what didn't work. There's like this whole mental thing after, and you bounce back.
Yeah.
Which is
it's
like it's super tough for me. It's a beautiful thing, and to have this mentality for a long time is super hard. And I think at some point you kind of lose it. You're like, okay, I'm kind of done with that.
yeah.
It's really hard. So yeah, in my opinion, I think that someone that's like a top 5 or a top 10 or even a top 20 should make quite a bit more money.
Yeah. But then in saying that, if you brought in much more money, like road cycling, like say if you're a top rider, you're 3 to 5 million euros if you're one of the best.
Yeah.
Then that brings in potentially more problems with doping and stuff like this as well.
Yeah, but at the same time, like if you have really like things in place to actually control that, then there's no.
But it depends. It depends how much you believe in the control.
Oh yeah, then it's a never-ending story.
Yeah. But from
some
what
people believe that the Earth is flat.
Yeah. From watching the Netflix thing about the Russian, have you watched that?
Oh, not yet. About the Olympics thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
You have to watch.
What is it
that.
called?
I've forgotten the name now.
You know what I've been watching like around Christmas, November, December. It's actually Marta Maes who told me to watch that. It's Formula One.
Oh, that's really good. Drive to Survive.
Yes.
But
That's,
that looks pretty tough in the Formula One.
Holy shit! But like it's tough because they have way more pressure from the brands than what we have in mountain biking. We are pretty chill, I think, compared to them.
Yeah.
But the commitment and everything and all that goes around that, the team aspect of it,
Yeah.
I think for me was wow, it's a big eye opener.
Yeah.
Like the structure that on that, like even if we have the 10th of that when we go racing, it will be amazing.
I think now sometimes Loic and some others are getting more towards that, like they're
Yes. Yeah.
but then you can see how much that extra pressure is like how excited he was when he won and what it meant, because it's more than just for him,
Totally. It's
which
the team.
is tough.
Team.
That's
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure, tough. But at the same time, he's getting paid. Like Specialized is paying him to go race and win.
Yeah.
And they are putting the budget for that, so they have to.
Yeah.
I think that Loic salary and the commitment that they have with Specialized and everything, it's another level. It's something that I've never experienced before.
Yeah.
You probably never experienced before as well. Yeah.
But would you want to experience that?
Well, I think I would have wanted it in the past.
Yeah.
But I don't think I wanna do that now anymore.
Yeah. Well, not to that extent.
I think I can give this opportunity to some youngster.
Yeah, but then it's only very few people that will succeed even in that environment just because of the pressure.
Yeah, it might not work for everybody. You're right.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. But
sports become more professional, then that's the way it's gonna go.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that the salary doesn't go up so much
The
for
salary doesn't go up so much.
compared to the like growth of the sport and the coverage and everything now. But
But I think it's something to I think it's something to address. Like, you know, like people that are, as I said, people that are racing and that are really committed to racing, they should earn quite a bit of money, because it's a full-time job and a career. You know, you can always bounce back. You can have your career as a racer, and then you can shift your career and become more mellow.
Yeah.
And you are an ambassador for brands, and you do some. There is always be a spot for you if you are passionate with biking. You know, if that's your job, you're good at it, then there will always be a spot for you.
Yeah,
It might be different, but you know, like a racer, your career is so short.
Yeah. And if you're only a racer and then you finish, then it's too short to really make enough money to live.
You can't really retire. Like, it's always funny when you hear people being like, "Oh, I'm retired," but are you ready? No, you're not.
And then next week they're swinging a hammer on the building site or something. You know, like
and then they're like, "Oh, like me. Oh, I want to go back to racing."
Yeah.
No, there's actually, which is good, in my contract, there is no obligation with anybody to go race.
Yeah.
So if I go race, it's a total bonus for me.
Yeah, it's for you, not for someone else. Yeah.
It will be for me. It's a bonus for me, but there is no bonus in terms of salary if I go race or not. It will be totally for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting to consider anyway, that the sport. Hopefully it does change, and that young guys coming up now that are putting everything into racing can make really more than they do now. And I've even told young riders to ask for a lot more than they've expected before, and they'll be like, "What?" But I'm like, well, if your performance is this, then that's what you have to get paid.
So what's your vision on that? Like, what would be, for example, a top 20 World Cup? Like, what should be salary?
It depends on his image as well. So, of course, now.
So now that's the thing. Now you kind of have to be. You're not only a racer now. You have your image.
You kind of have to, though.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's consistent every race, top 20.
Yeah.
And we're not in the COVID year, which also makes things more complicated.
Yeah.
Like a normal season, then I would say if he's done that for a while, then he should be between 60 and 80 is current, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's 20th place, you know?
That's a big gap to what's happening right now.
Depends though. Some guys are getting good deals. It depends on where they're from.
Yeah.
And what else they can offer to the brand.
Yeah.
But
totally. It depends on a bunch of variables. Like someone who has like a massive platform on social media and stuff, and is a top 20 consistent. Yeah. Yes, I think like this kind of salary is totally doable. But someone that's a top 20 and is like has no social media, nothing, no image.
Yeah. Then he's lucky if he gets paid.
Like, he's lucky if he gets paid.
Yeah.
But this guy actually deserve a decent salary.
Because he's living for the sport.
Totally.
Yeah. But
he's living for the sport. He's good, and I think someone that's top 20, he deserve a chance to actually make this passion as a job. And it will give him also the opportunity to work on all the stuff that he's lacking.
Yeah.
Like social media.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like you. Yeah.
But
it's a tricky one.
Yeah, for sure. One day I would like to do management. Would be enjoyable, but the money is quite low, so you don't really want to. You're not going to make money doing this. I don't think. Not much.
Well, actually, it depends. Huh? Ask Couscous.
No. I mean, not like team management, but more like rider management.
Oh, rider management.
Yeah,
okay.
Because a lot of young rider doesn't know the value.
No, they don't know the value.
So it's good.
They don't know the value. So you will be a bit of a how do you say, an agent?
Yeah. Like in a way. Yeah. And then you go to the brand, and it's much easier than if they have to go to the brand and say what they want.
Mm-hmm.
even for myself,
But
sometimes that's hard, you know. You're like,
I think I totally get it. I think that having someone that kind of helps you deal with at least just structuring the things that you have to do, you know, for brand, like the media contents and all this kind of stuff, and your training and your racing schedule and everything. Like if you have someone and helps you deal a little bit with sponsors and stuff like that, I think that was probably one of the mistakes that I've made when I started my career in enduro. Is that I never
had someone.
I never had someone to really help me with kind of stuff, and I think I was lacking with a lot of things. But it's really complicated for just one person to deal with everything.
And it's stressful.
It's really stressful. And I think that if I will go back to 2013, signing my first professional contract with Giant, I will for sure hire someone now. And you know, you pay him like
10% or 15%.
10% or all the way to 20% even. But I will totally do it. So I think that you will be a really good person to do this kind of stuff. You know the industry.
I quite like it.
You know the industry. You are really approachable with people, and I think you will be like everybody likes you in the industry.
I don't know about that, but
So
I mean, you don't like me, but you know. But no, hopefully in future can work into that. But it's too hard as a current racer, I think, to do it as well.
No, the next phase of your career.
But I would enjoy that, because then you feel like you're almost helping people to get live their dream, you know, as well.
Totally.
You might make some money, but it's more about getting the best for someone else as well. But I feel like I feel like from myself that I'm glad I did it myself up until now, because I've learned all of this. And it's been like kind of a lesson in business and marketing, you know, like.
Totally. So, and I think that I think the two of us, we experience the fact that when you're a racer and you are in this journey, like it's never like this kind of increasing thing with like salary. Like it kind of goes up and down, up and down, and up and down. There's some years you're gonna make a little bit more money, and some years you're gonna make a little bit less, and it's all good. It kind of varies.
And some years where you made nothing, you know, like you're lucky if you got your bike.
You eat rice and pasta every day.
I've done a few years like
that. Remember those days.
But those are the best memories as well, because you know where you came from, I think.
Totally. These are the years that you will remember these years forever.
For sure. But
you probably learned most with these years.
You definitely you have the most memories of the years when it was harder, and it's almost more rewarding as well. Because everything's not like just planned out for you or done for you, so you've got to like arrange it yourself and try to race.
I know. Racing as a privateer is one of the probably the most challenging thing ever, because you do your practice, then you have to work on your bike, then you have to cook your food, and sometimes you're like, wow, fucking hell, it's like 11 o'clock at night, there's the race tomorrow, my wheel is fucked, I'm gonna leave my wheel like that. You just don't do it.
But from the other side, it's also quite cool because you're racing just for yourself, which is sometimes a nice feeling, you know. Like when you go, until you learn to deal with that pressure, when you go to a race as a sponsored rider, it's different. Like there's another pressure on you, you know, and you can feel that, and until you learn to focus on yourself and race your own race, that can be pretty hard.
But I think don't you think that most of the time the pressure that we have, it actually comes from us?
I think it's more from us, but then if you think about it sometimes, because then really there is pressure from someone, because they want you to perform, you know.
Totally, but they give you all the keys to perform. So of course you wanna give back. You wanna be like, okay, you're giving me the opportunity to perform. I want to perform. But I think the pressure actually it comes from us.
and you
put the pressure on ourselves.
and sometimes build it up into a bit too much. But
Totally.
Yeah.
Like I remember sometimes being at the start of some races and being completely locked. You know, like being like, what the fuck? I'm shitting my pants right now. What the fuck is happening? And as soon as you start, you are in the race. Everything kind of that's it. I'm on my bike. I'm having fun. It's all good. But the minutes, the hours before the race starts, sometimes it's like it's inside and you're like, you're completely locked. It's crazy.
Yeah, but there's other races where you can't loosen up sometimes. Like
there is some
you make a mistake and then you're stressing and you're thinking and then it's like
totally.
Yeah.
So it's a nightmare.
But
I remember.
That's what makes the best racer, I think, and probably why I'm not the best racer, like versus like the top rider, you know, like the guy that's on the podium every weekend. That's why I'm not that guy, because I'm not as good at that.
You won an EWS.
Yeah. Well, it was good to do that, but but I didn't win two. You know, like I won one, and then that's, you know.
Did you go on the podium over than that, or that was your only?
No, I got on the podium one other time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we are the same. I had two podiums as well.
Yeah.
Twice second. I never won though.
Well, I had a first and a third, but I'll take that over the two.
And
seconds.
it was the same year?
No, different year.